Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda and this is Confidence Mindset with Amanda. So in this video, I want to talk about how our body is responding and reacting to our circumstances and our environment as we are thinking our new thoughts and inevitably telling our body that this is the new person that we are. So I'm going to do 3 videos on this, one on health, one on relationships, specific people, new relationships, and one on money, but this video is going to be on health. So as you all know, we are always manifesting. We've been manifesting since the day that we were born, and everything that has unfolded in our life comes from environments, circumstances, beliefs that have been programmed into us, and traumas and experiences and good times and everything that we know to be in our life as it is. And when we get into conscious manifesting, we really get into conscious manifesting because we know that we can redirect the circumstances in our life, but we can also redirect our life into a new way of being by consciously focusing on our thoughts and what story it is that we are telling our mind. So with that being said, I want to talk about health in this video, and I'm going to use an example from Dr. Joe Dispenza. As you all know, I do talk a lot about Dr. Joe Dispenza on my channel, but however, he is a new age contemporary figure who is promoting the same ideas as everybody else in the manifestation community, like Neville Goddard or, Joseph Murphy or anyone out there who is telling us about the laws and how our thoughts create and everything that we are learning about conscious manifesting when we get into it. However, Dr. Joe Dispenza does it in a different way, where he says that the thoughts in our brain are rewiring the neurons in our brain, but however, he believes then that it's all connected to the body as well too, which it is, and this is what I'm going to get into. He talks about how if thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings then are the language of the body, it's about the brain and heart coherence to get into that higher elevated consciousness, really, which is what we are doing in our manifestation journey. And inevitably, as we become this new personality, he talks about we are on memorizing the past, which is which is what we're doing in conscious manifesting, because we're using our thoughts to memorize a new future, as he says, but we're using our thoughts as this new person and as this new experience that we want to have in our life, if that makes sense. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about this example of this man who experienced getting skin cancer in the book, and he experienced getting skin cancer, and he noticed that there was a lot of his friends who were also exposed to the same sun exposure that he did, and he wondered why it was him that inevitably got skin cancer. He fell into a victim mentality, and when he fell into this victim mentality as he was going through his chemotherapy and his treatment, which is valid because we're human and we have these emotions and feelings, he realized though that he wanted to take an evaluation on himself. And as he reevaluated his life and he looked back over his experiences, he realized that he was holding a lot of resentment for experiences that he had in his life and things that didn't go his way. He inevitably came to the conclusion that he was holding this resentment because he always felt like he had to give up things for the sake of others in his life. So because he came to this realization, he decided to take himself away on a holiday. Anybody who's read the book will know this story. And he took himself away and he re-evaluated himself on that holiday for the couple of weeks. Now, he re-evaluated himself in the way that we are doing on our conscious manifesting journey. So he decided that if he was someone who was holding resentment, which is an old story, which is what we are changing our story. So when we look at our old story, we figure out the limiting beliefs and we figure out what's holding us back, and then we start working on it. So he halted his mind when negative thoughts came up. This is what we're doing on our mental diet, and we're redirecting the thoughts into our brain. And as we redirect our thoughts, this is what is Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it your firing new neurons in your brain, but your brain is ultimately telling your body as well, so it's firing new genes as well too within your body. And as he began to do this, he realized that it wasn't just about the thoughts. And this is what I'm saying about the body as well too. So he realized it wasn't just about the thoughts. So then he said to himself, how do I want to act as well as these new thoughts? How do I coincide with the new thoughts? And so he realized that he looked at his life, particularly his wife and his child, and he decided that anytime they asked for something, he would feel it as a burden. But however, because he was deciding to be this new personality, as Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it, he would act in the same way. And so he decided that when his wife and child asked him for anything, he wouldn't see it as a burden. He would be generous and he would be kind. And he inevitably acted out this new personality, which is what we do when we get into conscious manifesting. So this is the whole idea of understanding that conscious manifesting is not delusional. It's basically just you rewiring your thoughts and then inevitably matching your personality to be this new person. That's all it is. It's that simple. And there's so much misconception of it, and I understand when you first get into it, it can seem like it's delusional, but it's not, because why wouldn't you want to be this new personality that you want to experience? It actually makes sense. And so as he continued to do this, and this is what I say when things don't take that long, this was only about over a period of 3 to 4 weeks that he decided to consciously be this new person. He went to the doctor and he noticed that the lesion or whatever on his skin had fallen off. He went to the doctor and the doctor realized that he was cured from cancer. Now this is a remarkable story, but it is not new, because if you look to any of Dr. Joe Dispenza's videos or anything, he has loads of these stories, but he does have stories because of meditation. But this man, from my perspective in this book, he doesn't seem to have done any meditation. He's basically done what we are doing in our conscious manifesting journey, which is changing our thoughts. And as we're changing our thoughts, our body is starting to come to the conclusion that maybe we want to act or think in these certain ways. And so this is how your body starts to respond and react to your circumstances and your environment. Because if you are telling yourself a new story and you're repeating it over and over and over in your mind for a week or two or however long it is, your body's going to start reacting and responding in that way unconsciously. Remember the video I did on the Karate Kid, because he was doing all the actions and unconsciously then he was able to protect himself from when Mr. Miyagi went to challenge him in the karate. And this is what we do with our thoughts. And I did notice this as well too. Mr. Miyagi always says to Daniel as well that it's in here, and that's exactly where our desires are. Our desires are in here. We already are our desires. That's the thing about it. And the only thing then when we disconnect ourselves is when we don't believe in ourselves. But because we're doing our affirmations and we're changing our mindset, we're building that belief within ourselves. And so then it starts to unfold, just like this man here with his cancer. And so Dr. Joe Dispenza says that as a result, he signaled new genes in new ways, and those cancer cells couldn't coexist with his new mind. And so this is the thing with conscious manifesting. When you start telling yourself this new story over and over and over again, it can't coexist then with the old story. So you're rewriting the old story, and then you're inevitably then becoming this new person. And unconsciously to yourself, your body starts to react and to respond to the new way of being. But however, to get there quicker, we should be looking after our bodies as well too. So what do I mean by this? Well, we talk about self-regulation to go in line with your new mindset. And self-regulation is the breath work that we do to stabilize our nervous system. It's meditations that we do to get into that wholeness feeling. You remember that video I did on the chakras? I might link it up here actually if anyone wants to watch it again. I meditate on my chakras if I feel like I'm disconnected, which means I'm not actually affirming for my desires. I get back into my desires when I feel like I want to affirm for them, because from my perspective, everything comes from within. And if everything comes from within and I'm not feeling up to scratch for affirming, I'm going to give I'm my number one priority, because because if I'm looking after myself and I'm my number one priority, everyone will start to reflect that back to me. But I also, as well too, if I don't look after myself and put myself as my number one priority, how am I supposed to show up in the way that I want to show up for my family and friends and everyone in my life? So this is why I do this, because I want to be the best that I can be. And that's what we do when we get into conscious manifesting as well too. It's not just about manifesting the particular desire, because the desire is already you already hold it within. Remember, there's nothing separate. We're all connected. So if we're all connected, the energy can be felt. And so if don't worry about time or anything like that. This is why I try to stress the importance of noticing that we are in the present moment. Don't worry about time, because anything that you desire, when you get the desire in your physical reality, time will be eliminated. You won't be thinking about how long it took. You won't even be, you'll just be enjoying the desire so much in the moment that you forget about circumstances and anything that happened before. So never worry about the time, because it will unfold for you. But it's as I say then, it's about teaching your mind to be this new person. And as you teach your mind, you're telling your body, and then your body responds and reacts in new ways. But however, it will take a little bit of time. It doesn't happen overnight, and we do have to take it on as a bit of a lifestyle change, because as we are looking at this conscious manifesting, we can look at it from a personal development and growth process as well too. And as we grow older and we learn more in our life, we learn more about beliefs that we may be holding that we want to work on more, and inevitably get the best experience out of everything that we want in life, because that's the main goal when it comes to conscious manifesting. Yes, we want the money, we want the relationship, we want the health, the car, the house, but however, it all comes down to how we are giving it to ourselves first. And as we do this and become this new person, this is how we attract it into our life. And if we look at successful people in our life, the likes of, I'm not sure, I know Steve Jobs, I think, dropped out of college. I'm not sure. I think the same for Bill Gates. I'm not sure about Elon Musk, but all these great figures, they don't even have a college degree, and they're like the richest people in the world. So it's not about what you have, it's because they became their job so much. It's like they identified with the job. This is what you have to do when you get into conscious manifesting. Identify with it. Forget about delusion, because it's not delusional to believe in yourself or believe that you can have, be, and do anything in your life, because it's actually a fact. It's real. That is the actual real thing in life. The only unreal thing is programs and society and things that are keeping us down to believe in ourselves that this is all that we are supposed to experience, that only a certain amount of people are allowed to experience what they want. No, it's not like that. It's about getting your mindset into what it is that you want and identifying as it. But the repetition, as I say, will help in doing this, because the more you tell your mind something, the more your mind and body is going to believe in it. Now, to get into quicker ways, as I say, about getting your body intact, the breath work and the meditation is great. But however, we set up routines for our day, little things. It doesn't really matter what we do. We enjoy our life as we are consciously manifesting as well. And we always keep ourselves on a good mental diet, which means that we don't have to have a mental diet specifically just on our desires. Our mental diet is, we could look at it from a positive psychology perspective, and it's basically the beliefs that we are repeating into our mind all day to keep our confidence and belief within ourselves and the love within ourselves. Remember, it's all about giving ourselves the love and belief and confidence within ourselves first. So with that being said, I think I will leave this video here, as I don't want it to be too long, but I wanted to bring up that example about health, because I know that we can get things in our life that are struggling, and especially when it comes to our health, or mental health, or physical health. But however, if this person is an example of overcoming such an extreme illness, then he's not an exception. He's not the only one that's able to do this, which means if we get that idea out there, other people may benefit from this idea of your thoughts if you change your thoughts and you start to become this new personality that you're thinking, you can inevitably change your circumstances as well too. So I hope this video helps for anyone who is wondering about how our body starts to change, or how things in general start to change and reflect back to us when we are consciously manifesting. And this is how it is done. It's like, it's sometimes opportunities and everything that you have asked for come to you in ways that you don't know. Your body starts to unconsciously react and respond to all the thoughts that you are giving it. And so this is why we keep on our mental diet. This is why we use affirmations that build the belief and confidence and love and wholeness and validation, and everything that we seek outside of us, we build it within ourselves first. And then inevitably then it all starts to come to us then in our reality. And I have another quote here, actually. It just reminded me that I was reading this book, and yeah, Lessons in Truth, it's called. And I saw this, it was: the ultimate aim of every man should be to come into the consciousness of an indwelling God. An indwelling God is within your desires and things that is all love, all bliss, all abundance, everything that we trust and have faith and belief in. And then in all external matters, which is outside the 3D, to affirm deliverance. So if we keep affirming everything that is ours is already ours, through and by this divine one. There should be no running to and fro, which means we shouldn't be wavering, making human efforts to aid the divine, which means we don't need to do anything outside of us in the 3D, but all we have to do is have a calm, restful, unwavering trust in all wisdom and all power within one, as able to accomplish the thing desired. So just keep the trust and keep the faith and belief, because it will change. So victory must be won in the silence of your own being first. So you must feel this genuine knowing and trust and belief and faith and confidence and everything within yourself first. And then you need to take no part in the outer demonstration of relief from conditions, which means you don't need to take any part in the outside, because it's all going to be reflected back to you anyway. And the very walls of Jericho that keep you from your desire must fall before you, which means it's law. This is spiritual law. The more that we continue to train our mind and train our body and believe and trust and know that this is the way that it's going to be for us, as it says there, the very walls of Jericho that keep you from your desire must fall before you. So they must fall down and reveal to you your desire in the physical reality. It can be no other way. So with that being said, keep on your thoughts. Your persistence is you becoming this new personality with the knowing and trust that everything is going to be okay, and that everything is going to work in your favor, and that you're going to get everything that you want as you continue to elevate yourself up. It's a growth process. It's a personal development process. We're going to have days that are not going to be great. I'm sure this man had terrible days. He was suffering from a terrible illness, but he overcame it. And if he can do it, we can do it as well too. There's no exceptions here. It's the truth of who we are. And so I'm going to leave this video here, because I think I rambled on a little bit longer than I intended to. But I hope this video helps or gives some motivation or encouragement to somebody or anyone watching, that you can do everything and be everything, and no matter how hard it is. Like I understand, because circumstances and our environment, and sometimes we get news and things like that that are just not desirable. But however, it's, as I say on my channel, we overcome it, we get back on the mindset, and we keep going. And as I say in that quote there, the very walls of Jericho that keep you from your desire must fall before you. I mean, that is exactly it. Just keep going. You can have everything. And thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. And also as well too, if you have any questions, comment down below, and I'm hoping, as I say, to make another video then I'll relate it to money and relationships then as well too. So thank you so much for listening. If you have listened this far, I know I talked a bit longer than usual, but thank you so much for your time.